Welcome back everyone to Brakesbake. I'm Dee. I'm just going to take a second to say hi to one of our subscribers, Carter. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Today we are making cranberry apple sourdough muffins, and to begin, let's add 1.5 cups or 180 grams of flour. Of course, you don't have to sift it if you don't have a sifter, but I'm trying to just give the muffins a little bit more of that fluffy, moist texture that we're always looking for. Okay, there we go. At the one side. And our next dry ingredient is going to be baking powder. So with the baking powder, we're looking for 1 teaspoon or 4 grams. That goes right in. The next ingredient we're going to be doing is baking soda. And we're going to be going for a 1/4 teaspoon or 2 grams of baking soda. Goes right in. The next thing we want to add is our salt. So again, we're going for a 1/4 teaspoon of salt here or 2 grams. Next, we will be adding cinnamon. So we're going for 2 teaspoons or 10 grams of cinnamon. Perfect. The next ingredient we're going to be adding is nutmeg. So we want a 1/2 teaspoon or 2 grams of nutmeg. Right in. Okay. And all we want to do here is blend our dry ingredients together a little. Okay. Now I'm just going to reach for another bowl and we'll get our wet ingredients together. Back in just a few seconds. Welcome back everyone. We're on to our wet ingredients now, as mentioned. So to our bowl, we're going to add 4 tablespoons or 45 grams of vegetable oil or oil of choice. I'm using vegetable oil today. Now, I'm going with the scale measurement. I find that much more accurate. Different spoons, depending on the shape of them, different amounts. So here we go. And next we're going to be adding our granulated white sugar, which is a 1/2 cup or 100 grams. Right in. And then the next ingredient on our list is going to be brown sugar, which is a 1/2 cup or 95 grams. All right. I am lightly packing that too as well. Okay. Next ingredient is going to be an egg, 1 egg, lightly beaten. I'm going to pour that right in. Next thing we want to do is add our milk, and this is milk of choice. Today using lactose free, and you can use any oat, whatever, oat milk, almond milk, whatever your choice is. All right, so again, 5 tablespoons or 75 grams. Okay. Vanilla extract is going to go in next. 1 teaspoon or 8 grams. If you go over a little bit, not to worry. We do like vanilla in this house, so I'm going to put just a little bit more. There we go. And the last of our wet ingredients is going to go in here right now. It's going to be our sourdough starter. I'm using fed starter. That's what I've always used, and it works out. You can use unfed starter as well, because your leavening agents are going to be baking powder and baking soda, so it's still going to rise up. So either one should be good. And for the starter, we're going with 1 cup or 150 grams, approximately. Right. Now, nothing too fancy here. We're just going to stir everything together. Right. It's off the scale. Now, you can stir this together in stages, but I don't find it makes any real difference as long as everything gets brought together. So just going to be a few minutes of this until it's well blended. There we go. All right, once we've brought that together, we can grab our dry ingredients there now. There we go. All right, we're going to add it right in. And I'm just going to give this a really light stir right now. I'm going to pause the camera and get our next ingredients ready and be right back. So now we're going to add our last 2 ingredients. It's going to be a 1/2 cup of dried cranberries or 60 grams. I have chopped the dried cranberry up a little bit more just to make it spread more evenly through the muffin. And then I'm going to add 1 medium apple, peeled and diced. I'm using Granny Smith today, but you can certainly use the apple of choice that you like, and it will work out. Now we're just going to stir our fruit into our batter. Now we're just going to do a stir until the fruit gets incorporated. We don't want to over stir here, because if you do that, you can develop too much gluten and the muffins will be really tough. So just to get it coated through. And then we will get the muffin pan over here, and I'll show you what I've done with that. Just give me a second here. Okay, we're going to move our bowl over. So I've lined my muffin tin pan with parchment liners. I find them the easiest to peel off the muffins. Okay, let's get this all scooped into our tin. Okay, so moving the batter over with my ice cream scoop. If you don't have one, you can use just a tablespoon or whatever you have on hand. I try to fill the batter up to about the top of the liner. I'm using size large muffin liner for the baking today. I find parchment just peels away from the muffins a lot easier, and it makes cleanup of the pan really easy as well. So that's just a little tip. Of course, if you don't have these parchment liners, you can still go ahead and use a well-greased muffin tin, and that will work for you as well. I am going to turn the oven on to preheat to 400 degrees now. I've waited because this is a sourdough batter, and we want to give the sourdough a chance to develop some more extra flavor. So I'm just going to cover it, and the best way I've found is to take a lasagna pan, which I have right here, and I just place it inverted or upside down over the muffins and let them rest for the 30 minutes. So I'm going to come back to show you before I bake the muffins what the batter looks like after 30 minutes of resting. Because there is sourdough in it, I want to show you that there is some activity going on. It's hard for the camera to pick it up, but I'm going to bring up the muffin tin to the camera. Hopefully you'll be able to see it a little bit better. I'll just point out here some of the little bubbles you'll see. So that's just the sourdough doing some extra work for us. Now, we're going to bake this in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like when it's done. So after 20 minutes, we're back, and the muffins are cooked perfectly. Now we're going to let them cool down for about 30 minutes, and then I will be back to cut one open and show you what that looks like. So we're back after 30 minutes. I cut the muffin in half. I've added a little bit of butter to mine. These muffins are moist and delicious. I hope you will try them. I want to say hi to my friend Mila. Hi, Mila. And I want to say thank you to all our subscribers. Thank you for watching, for taking the time to see this video all the way through. We certainly appreciate it. If you would give us a like, a thumbs up, or a comment, we would really appreciate it. And until next time, please take care.